Hello, everybody. This is Adam Biddle and the Big Show coming to you for the first time. We're here with Shane Owens, one of my best friends in the whole world, a man that has been in the industry. And we're going to go over some things. We're going to go over how he got started, where he's going, what's been going on, and everything, and see about what we can do about some of this stuff that just ain't working out in the industry. So, Shane, to start this off, man, you got a nice place out here. How many acres you say you got here?
Thank you. All together is about 37 on both sides. My dad, this is I don't know how long we've been out here all together since I was in high school. So this is all I know is home.
Yes, sir.
We moved 7 or 8 times following the music dream, you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely,
I'll always call Samson home, so this will always be home to me. We've been here a while.
Definitely, and mainly, you got started in this when I wasn't even playing. You know, I learned a lot of my stuff from watching you growing up, entertaining. You was one of the best entertainers. You're still one of the best entertainers. We just got through watching you, this past Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And my God, I had a blast, and there was a lot of people there. Scott Fryer was there, Vic George was there, and it was a feeling in that room when I walked in. I don't go watch bands because I stay in enough hate anyway for people. So I try to stay away from the stuff, so I don't really go watch anybody. But there are some people that I still go watch and try to support. So I hadn't been out in a long time, and I just knew that night it was just something in the air. Everybody wanted to go see something different, and you was back home, and everybody there was you was acting up on the stage like you usually do, entertaining. It was great. Man, we just had a great time. Me, Vic, and everybody was at the table was like, man, you know what? This is the best time we've had in a long time to go watch a band and stuff. So yeah, man, I loved it. It was a breath of fresh air for me because going to Panama City and all that stuff when you play, it's all the same song list. Mm-hmm. It's all the same stuff going on. And I'm not trying to bash the bands around. I know it's what they're trying to do and all this kind of stuff. And it's the main thing is it's the locals kind of keep the outsiders from coming in. They cut the price or however that works, and it dies down to stuff. And all the song lists are the same. All the bands because they're all kind of. They live there and they kind of commute together and become a family,
Well, one thing, when you're on a local level and you're just now starting out, like when I started playing at Cowboys way back in the day before I got my first deal, you have to play a lot of cover tunes.
Yes, sir.
Because you're playing 3 or 4 sets versus I've got spoiled now because I do 90 minutes and I'm off.
That's right.
But I guess you want to say paid my dues.
Yes, sir.
I come up in the honky tonk ranks, and there's so much talent around Dothan and Geneva and Enterprise that don't never get seen. They never get found. It's a lot tougher when you come from a small town.
It's rough.
We don't have a lot of places we can go out and play. You got to hone your craft. I can't tell you how many nights and how many years we played up there in Dothan. We were the house band there forever. Sure. And the main thing is just trying to book all you can, and a lot of the places now don't pay like they used to.
Shoot.
So if you got a 5-piece band, you're trying to put a 5-piece band together and go out on the road. It takes everything you possibly do to make a living at it. It's almost impossible nowadays. Yes, because when you've got the locals that'll come down and pay, some of you places, your venues don't pay but so much, it makes it hard on a lot of people are doing acoustic shows.
Yes, sir.
It makes more sense to do acoustic shows because you got one-man band. You don't have all that. They don't understand when you go on the road. You got to have a 5-piece band. You got to pay for a bus, and if you're lucky enough to get a contract, and we talk about Nashville recording artists. When they say Nashville recording artists, they're looking for that Nashville sound. I mean, any of us can go to Nashville and record in Nashville and claim that to be Nashville recording artist. There's a lot of contractual legalities and formalities in it. I was fortunate. Mm-hmm. I actually signed a record deal more than once, yes, and done it 2 or 3 times. and we were fortunate to get out on the road, and we had songs chart and things like that, which was a dream come true. I played the Opry, as you can see all this stuff in here, man. Been so blessed, but I never take it for granted because in this business you can be on the top of the hill on Monday with a song on the charts, and 3 weeks later be off the label.
I swear.
It's just that cut and dry, so it's a lot harder when you come from a smaller, like places like Dothan. You go to getting up to Montgomery outside, going to Nashville. If you're lucky enough to get on a tour with somebody, I had the the opportunity and that a lot of people don't get. You know, I work with John Anderson, Randy Travis.
You work with more than I can name.
Listen, just about every artist in the industry, with the exception of a few, I've had the opportunity. And you know, in this business, I appreciate you thinking of me.
Oh,
I had the opportunity to influence a lot of people, and it's a hard business to get into because we live in a day and time now where it's hard to please everybody. You're not going to please everybody.
you're not going to do it.
So you do the best you can, count your blessings. You know, I don't know a lot of what I tell younger artists coming up. You know, we got Cruz, Wright, and so many different artists around here that's even been on American Idol.
Yes, sir.
Those are not guarantees. I mean, you get a lot of exposure, millions and millions of people, and I've even told him and Kiara at times you got to take advantage of that and use that as a doormat to book shows. And just do the best you can because it's a hard industry, man.
It's, man, the
It's
economy is really bashing us. I mean, the gas prices, the food prices. I mean, even, you know, Jason's here with us, helping us film this right here. And man, everywhere we play, it's like, my God, we don't know what's going on. It just can't make the money. Like you said, you about want to go do acoustic shows, but when you start doing that, everybody's became keen to that, so everybody's doing acoustic shows.
Right.
So, and they don't care what kind of acoustic show it is, as long as it's just somebody doing acoustic.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, so it's all bundled up there, and then all the gigs are taken, which you can't blame them. You ain't got to worry about people showing up on time. You ain't got to worry about the druggies not showing up, the drunks if they have to play for, and you have to use them that weekend. And it is what it is, and we can't function because now if the local places have local bands, well, they don't have to pay them as much. If we're coming from out of town, we don't make any money.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a lot. When you go to getting into detail about touring and touring with a 5-piece band, you know, the band's got to be taken care of. And a lot of times, you know, and I don't know if a lot of people don't really know how the industry works. When I first got signed, I was the last one to get paid. The band got paid. The venues were covered. The per diem was covered because if you get up there on a bigger scale, those guys get paid a certain amount of money. And there was times out there on the road, and my wife can attest to this, and anybody that was on my team at the time, the artist is the last one to get paid.
I didn't even know that.
It's an industry. It's a business. When you create a LLC and you go in it full time professionally, so-called what they call professional, the artist is absolutely the last one to get paid. The label takes care of the band. They take care of this. And then if you don't sell any records, the only way you can make a decent living is to have a great booking agent that's got you stacked, got your show stacked. And if you got a single on the radio that's in the top 20 and it's number 1 in Texas, you don't need to be over there in Utah. They need to be routing you where the song is the hottest.
Yes, sir.
And I've run into all that. There's been times I'd have a top 20 record on the radio on Music Row and out in Texas for 17 weeks be number 1, and we'd be touring over there in Utah or California or somewhere else. You got to go where it's hot. But that all relates back to management. Yeah. You can be the best singer in the world. You can have the best band in the world. You can have good people surrounding you. But if you're not on a label that knows what they're doing and has the management to make it happen, because the difference in being a signed artist and an artist that's independent is when you sign a record contract in Nashville, there's avenues that they have through radio. You know what I mean? They take that record, they work it at radio for you.
Right.
It's just about impossible if you're not trying to get radio play.
That's what I was going to ask you. If there's some people out there that want to become a Nashville recording artist, what do they have to do? Because there's so many wolves out there wanting to sign with them and stuff, and I don't even know. I've had 3 songs on the radio before I had to go and do time, and everybody knows about me, you know. But I've had 3 songs on the real radio before, but I am not a Nashville recording artist. Mm-hmm. I admit that I am not, right. And I don't know what you even have to do, but I do know you can't go to Nashville and pay somebody to do a recording and then come out there and then they say, okay, now you're a Nashville recording artist. There's no way it works like that, because anybody could do it. So I don't know, what do you have to do to establish yourself?
Well, first of all, you've got to be lucky. You've got to have talent, but you got to be lucky, and you got to find somebody that believes in you and what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of these people that get behind these artists, I'm gonna be honest with you, it'll take a cool $1 million to break an artist nowadays. $1 million. No, hands down $1 million to even break an artist. Because what a lot of people don't understand is you got that bus, you're out on the road, oh, he's making plenty of money, he's got plenty of money. They don't understand that you're barely paying the band, because when you go out there and you cut $100,000 video, that's just a loan. You got to pay all that money back. The label fronts all this money, and next thing you know, well, I've got a $250,000, $250,000 bill, and hadn't even sold a record yet, and we don't have any dates on the books. What am I going to do?
Well, you know, Shane, you brought up a good point about management too. And one thing I've been with some bands that, we use management and stuff. And one thing I like that it does is it separates the artist from the business side, because from my experience, us as artists, we kind of suck at business a lot of times.
Yeah.
That's right.
I would be the first one to admit, if my wife didn't handle my calendar now,
Yeah.
we do everything in-house. If she didn't, I'd be lost. 'Cause
Oh, I wouldn't show up to shows, man.
It's hard enough to be the artist.
Yeah.
You got to concentrate on being the artist, keeping yourself healthy, performing, entertaining, and singing, writing. A lot of young artists coming up, it's very important that you write your own material, because I cut a lot of great songs in Nashville. Some of the best songwriters in Nashville. We're talking Jeffrey Steele, Galen Griffin, Bruce Birch. A lot of the songwriters that wrote for me have passed on, but they wrote hits for Craig Morgan, Clay Walker, some of the best, some Grand Ole Opry members. But at the end of the day, if your name ain't on that song, they're getting paid.
That's right.
They're getting paid. They're getting paid publishing, songwriting, and everything. It's just the way it is in the nature of the beast. You need to be able to write, sing, play, and perform, and it's tough.
Exactly. I know 3 or 4 of your songs. We got our haters out there. I got my haters. You got your haters. It's just people hate success, but I'm not successful. But the thing about it is I've been in it 26 years, and I paid all my dues. I've had to stand on my 2 feet the whole 26 years. Mm-hmm. I've had no band to help and pay and do it. I just need money. I want this much money, and that's it. It's so bad, and it's like you can't do right. Even if you pamper them, even if you do anything and give them what they want, you still done something wrong.
Well, you know what? It's hard to try to please everybody, like I said. That's almost impossible to do. My outlook on it is, and I've always been this way, and anybody that truly knows me knows, I try to treat everybody with respect.
Yes, sir.
But you got to respect yourself too. You can't respect anybody else if you don't have respect for yourself. And I tell people this all the time. Main thing, I've never. It's just a grind. It's just a grind. I've wanted to throw in the towel so many times, and even with everything I've been able to accomplish, it's just a grind. And now the only thing now that's different than when I first started way back when is we got social media. You got the Book of Faces.
Ooh.
Yeah, you've got TikTok, so you can get your songs and material out there. I can go live, whether I'm going live, me and Bo's walking through the woods, or I'm sitting in here playing, or I'm going live for one of my shows. That's an asset. But you open yourself up to the public, which is, people think being in the spotlight's all that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I said earlier, they see the bus, they see the crowds, and they think, oh, but it's tough, man. You know what I mean? Because being in the public eye is tough sometimes.
Aside from all that, man, when I was first seeing you, I was playing with Doug Perkins. I know you remember little Doug. He played with me 20 years. He played with Ike and Tina Turner and Ted Nugent. And I was 24. I started growing up, and I said, I knew everything. I didn't want to do what he said. He had done been through. I didn't want to listen to nothing he said. I knew everything. And he come to me one day and he says, I need you to go with me this weekend. Because he was big on entertaining, And I just wanted to stand there. No, if the songs played perfectly, that's what the people want to hear. That's just exactly the way the songs play. And there are bands that are still like that. And I'm like, that's what they want to hear. No, that one chord wasn't in there, or that one note. And he's like, I just need you to come. I said, okay. So I knew everything. You was playing in the Funiac up there. I forgot what was it called over there. The last thing it was called before it closed.
Bootlegger's Old Place.
Yeah,
Susan's. Yeah,
Susan.
Boy, we had some good times.
So I sit there. You sitting up there with this Alabama outfit on, you jogging pants, and I said, "Where's Shane?" I thought you'd be dressed up. He's like, "He's right there." I'm like, "What's he doing?" You jumping around, messing around. Y'all was setting up.
Oh, we're doing sound check.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, it was time, and everybody going, and these lights and all that, started getting dark. We're sitting in the front, and he said, "I want you to watch." I said, "All right, Doug." We got out, and by God, don 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 don. I'm like, floor shaking, man. I'm at the table, don don, LaDon on the drum, banging. Everybody coming out. Something's coming, you know. And then I was looking for you, and it took you. I knew you always on purpose took a while to come out there.
Yeah, that's an artist thing, man. You know what I mean? Let the band build it up, vamp a little bit.
You took a running start. I didn't even see you. You come out the back of the stage, boom, straight out. Come out there with your hat on, you turn around like.
But Shane, you've been good at that, man, since I remember. With Silver, back though, Shane Owens and Silverado at Cowboys.
Yeah.
It wasn't they came to hear and you're a great country artist. It wasn't that they came to hear that. They came to see a good performance.
Man, they knew what they was getting.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. You know, a lot of artists, I'm so thankful in that aspect. I've never took that for granted because I know a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
It's something that's God-given.
It's hard.
Yeah, because I see a lot of people, I see some of the greatest singers. I'm talking about people that's had number one hits or string of number one hits that really don't have a lot of stage presence.
You know,
so it's one of those things that says gifted. You know what I mean? And I know that, so I don't take it for granted. But I've always enjoyed entertaining.
You know, that goes for the musicians on stage too. You know, I know some of the best, technically best musicians around, but I don't give a damn about seeing them play because they're boring.
Yeah. Boring.
You know what
if
I mean?
you stand there,
yeah,
you're asking for it. And I know some people can't help it. I mean, you know, some of them ain't entertainers and they don't want to do all that. I understand. I started out like that, but that's why I went. But when I went and seen him, I mean, chills. I knew then. I said, I know what I got to do.
Well, my
after that day on, I knew what I had to do.
Knowing that I've influenced people like you and so many other artists that you know are interested in what I'm doing, that is a blessing.
Yes.
Something I don't take for granted as well because I know, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just who I am. I've never strayed away from who I am. Although I will tell you this, and we will go on record saying that, you know, there for a long time, I think that even though I wasn't out there, I never got involved in drugs or anything like that.
That's right.
Not a drinker, and nothing like that. But I still wasn't giving the Lord.
Yes, right.
You know what I mean? I still wasn't giving him all the glory. That makes a difference. And
Keep
a lot of people,
grounded on it.
you know what I mean? I thought I could get out there and run up and down the roads and, I'm going to be a country star and just get by with giving God just a little bit of the glory, but he don't want half of it. He wants it all.
He wants the whole you, bro.
He
and
wants
that's
it
the
all,
scary
man.
part.
Yeah.
The mayor we have, Jeff Burleson, don't know if you know him. He's the mayor now of Florilla. And he's taken over, and I've known him since I was a little kid. He was a drummer too when he was growing up. And I remember him as about 10 years old living beside me. And that's the same way with him. He was in a bad, not change subject, he was in a bad tree accident. He trims trees and he got way up there and couldn't get down. And he had one hand lodged and he thought he was going to die. And his son couldn't get up there to get after him with another truck and all these stuff. So, and you know, he's already a church guy, but he did a thing in church too. And he said, I think it hit me hard, man. I always had that. He said that because I always thought about this. He's like, you know, we go to church and we come here and we pray before we eat. He said, but that ain't the whole you. He said, God wants the whole you, not just the motion. And it hit hard. I was like, I've always been guilty of that. I was like, I've never completely committed and just did whatever he said, you know. And when he said that, it hit me like a ton of bricks, man.
Yeah, man. You know, and I don't mind telling everybody because I'm a full-grown man now. I take responsibility for my actions. What I meant by that is there's a lot of distractions in this industry. When you play in front of 1,000 people, you got to have it together. You know, there's a couple of times I let my guard down, made the wrong decision. You know what I mean? Still live with it today. I count my blessings looking back, but there's a lot of times I made mistakes. And if we don't make mistakes, we can't learn.
Right.
But I look back on some of the things, and I was like, man, that was stupid. But you know what I mean? I count my blessings every day, and I'm still doing what I love to do.
Well, you know,
we do over 200 shows a year still.
Yeah, you do a lot of shows.
I just don't want to. You've got to be careful. Everybody wants a record deal. Everybody wants to be in the spotlight. There's so much talent around here that don't never get found, and it's unfortunate. But go out there and play music because you love it. If you're doing it for the money, you're doing it for the wrong reason anyway.
That's right.
Because around here it's hard to book. It's hard to take a 5-piece band out there. And I had the opportunity to play with some of the best musicians on this planet.
231 South to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had Scotty Ward. I had Clint. I had Don. I had Danny. Danny left us way too early. I've tasted what it's like to play with some big time guys in Nashville.
Where you could relax and perform.
Yeah, I mean, I've shared the stage with so many different artists. It's unbelievable looking back.
Man.
And here we're still doing it. Now we do it independent now. I do everything out of my house now. I walked away from a couple of deals because I don't want that obligation. There's still some stuff I'm looking at doing in the future, but I had a wonderful career and I'm still going. And it's just like people like you that want to take the time and question me about my career and let me encourage younger artists and you.
Yes.
And it's just a privilege, man, because I know I've been blessed beyond what I'm worth.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Absolutely.
Too? Something I experienced on a small level. I had a few opportunities to do national tours and stuff, and you get on the bus and it's cool. While you're out there, oh, you're cool. Can I get your autograph? Blah blah blah. When you get off that bus though, and you get home and you shut that door, it seems like the loneliest place on earth.
Absolutely.
Man, because when you get here, they're take out the trash. You're not Mr. Cool country star.
You're back.
So I think a lot of the drinking and the drugs and it's lonely.
Well, let me tell you this. I've known a lot of great artists, and I've seen them struggle with addiction. I've never did that, so I don't really know what it's like. But I've seen a lot of people in the industry because it's so demanding. You're talking 250, 260 days a year. Radio tours, being away from your family 7 to 8 months. I can see how they would fall into that.
Yes, sir. Forget it. You forget about it.
Yeah, you forget about that. You start relying on different things to get you through.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've never experienced that. I count my blessings for that, but I've seen a lot of people in the industry turn to that. And
it's always there.
Yeah, and sadly, it is. But you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things, man. It's harder and harder this day and time to keep our head above water because the industry is so hard. I'll give you an example. There's 100 people moving to Nashville every day. Mm-hmm. Think about that. 100 people. For every 100 people that's moving to Nashville to live that dream, there's 100 moving out.
Oh, yeah.
They're going home.
They lost.
Heartbroken.
Yeah.
It is such a crushing industry. And I've lost some of the best friends I've ever had doing this, because they, you get into the booking, the label, the artist has to pay all that money back. The band, they're paid and taken care of, and they take for granted sometimes that I'm this rich dude because I'm in the spotlight. You know what I mean? A lot of times, and I don't mind telling, there's a lot of times that band would get paid, and I'd go a month or 2 months without no paycheck. At the time when I first signed, my wife, I had 2 little boys. Left her at home to fend for herself. What money I made, the label sent home. I was out there in a bus for weeks at a time. It's as many blessings as I've had. I'm more comfortable now in my career than I've ever been.
Yeah.
I can go cut my songs. I can produce my own stuff.
You were locked down for a long time. You couldn't do nothing.
A lot of times. And like I tell everybody, one thing I don't understand about the industry, there's a lot of good people in Nashville. Don't get me wrong, man. If you want to cut country music, Nashville is Music City. It's known for the Grand Ole Opry for a reason. It's the mother church of country music. We're talking about George Jones, Patsy Cline, all my heroes, Keith Whitley that come before me that paved the way. If you'd have told me in high school that I would have had the privilege to step in the studio and work with John Anderson and Randy Travis, I'd have told you it was out of your mind.
It's pretty amazing.
God is good.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. God is good. I count my blessings every day, but the industry has changed so much. Without social media now, a lot of the younger artists, and I can't tell you, there's 5 or 6 younger artists around here that have got so much talent, they don't know what to do though. That's it. At some point in my career, when I get ready to roll up and I get ready to retire and quit, I want to give back. I want to take some of those artists in the studio, produce those artists. I've got routes to Nashville, people I can call to try to get them signed. I'm not going to make anybody any promises because there's no promises in this industry. Just getting them to that point. We need something around here in this area where people can go record.
Yep.
People like me that's been blessed, that's got an insight, that's willing to help, because I didn't have that. Like you, I had to cut my teeth in the honky tonks, come up, worked a 40-hour-a-week job, 3 nights a week. I was playing down the road, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, dragging in, going to work. I said it to say this: you have to pay a certain price to be in a spotlight, but you've also got to know how to conduct yourself, how to behave yourself, and stay away, because there's a lot of stuff out there that can bring you down. And listen, you can do 1,000,000 things good in this lifetime, and one thing bad, and that's all they'll ever remember. Through God's grace, we've all made mistakes. You've made mistakes. I've made mistakes.
Well, only at the top.
Through God's grace, we can turn to Him and repent and move on. Like I say, I've set up a lot of nights in this industry, lost friends,
Man,
over stuff that didn't even matter.
I get it. I've had people that were down on their luck, just bad druggies and stuff like that, and I'd be the only one there for him. I had a guy, bought him a guitar as soon as he got out, of jail or whatever. I gave him clothes. He played bass and guitar for me sometimes, and he would ride with me. And man, all that I did was made it worse. Being as I was that good, I was giving what I want, helping them. I was paying to like me is what I was paying to, and every time I've done that, okay, well, he's on drugs. Well, I get him straight and everything, we're going to be friends, and he's going to straighten up. And it's with anything you do, not just music. The worst thing you can do is buy somebody. The worst thing you can do is buy them gifts to like you.
Some people,
because in the end, they still do. They still, you're still the bad guy. Oh, well, he did something, so none of that meant anything, and you did all that for nothing.
What we got to do is unify, man. We got to love one another more, trust one another more, and not get caught up in the he said, she said.
Oh yeah.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I mean, I'm the type that if I don't think somebody don't like me, it worries me to death. At least it gets on me all the time. 54-year-old man now. We all want everybody to like us, and in this industry, it shouldn't be a competition thing. We should love one another more and count our blessings. And if you've ever been to one of my shows, you'll walk up to me and say, "Hey, man, you want to sit in?" I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Bring everybody, yeah.
Bring
I'm
everybody.
the same way.
We got to find a way in this world, in this lifetime, to love one another more, and just count our blessings. Because listen, I have so much respect for you. Any musician that's trying to break into this and make a living doing it is absolutely tough.
Yes, sir. It is
absolutely tough.
It's very tough, and you've been through it. I've slept on barroom floors. I've paid my dues big time. Doug had to sleep on the barroom floor because we couldn't make it back from Bluntstown one time to play the next night because we didn't have money. I've been through this, like I said, 26 years of beat down. I ain't had people, mom and daddy, money, and the band that loves you and everybody helps each other. And there are people I never had that, and they can say, well, it's because of this, because you're going to have your haters. I got my haters. Everybody going to have haters after this. It ain't going to matter. No matter what we say, we're going to be beat down. It don't matter. But don't take this time, brother, to thank you for being honest with us and telling us, about the industry and all that stuff. And I want to give a big shout out to, the band too. Your 231.
Well, listen, man.
All their names. I want to put, because I would love to see y'all play again.
Yeah.
One day, if everybody could get along, I'd love to see you.
I would love nothing more than to bring Scotty Ward, Mike Gilmore, Clint, and Don, the original. Danny's passed on, unfortunately.
Danny's gone.
But to get back together and do at least 231 South reunion, that would be pretty cool.
You know how many people that would draw?
Yeah, it'd be crazy, man.
If we could get LaDon healthy enough to do, and everybody, that was the band everybody came and seen at Cowboy to get ready. That was the band to me. But it's I'd love to see if everybody could get together and talk and somehow come to something. To do a show at Cowboys, get all the original members. I would love to see it. I would promote that. I would do everything I could to get that back again. Scotty Ward, one of the best players and steel players. I mean, Gilmore, my God, I wish I could play like Gilmore.
Yeah, Gilmore's unbelievable.
And the best attitudes of anybody.
Yeah.
But let's try to do that, man.
Let's do it, man.
Let's try to do that. I'll try to talk to them, and you try to. Let's get on some kind of common ground to give everybody a good show. 231 South and Shane Owens again, the Cowboys.
That'd be awesome, man. Love those guys, miss them, and you know what I mean. We had a long run there. We were the house band there for a long time. It's hard. It's almost impossible to believe I used to know 500 songs in my head. Now
Man,
I'm down to my stuff, and I forgot half the
You was
stuff
a
I've
while.
written.
You was a while. You forget more songs than you learn.
Absolutely,
You
man.
know. But man, I appreciate it, Shane.
I appreciate
Thank you
you,
so
buddy.
much for
Yeah,
having
man.
me,
God
brother.
bless you, man. Thank
You
you.
too, man.
Yeah.
Y'all be